Character design is provided by Demon Artie. Be sure to check her out over on her social media platforms. Links to her Twitter and Instagram are going to be in the description down below. Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
M15 PCA.
Tip 454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. We got Loki episode 4, the Nexus event. And this is kind of like a roller coaster because it's all over the place and stuff happens. It makes you go, it's a what?
Yeah.
And there was some questionable things where that were like, oh, that's gross.
And then there were some shocking things.
Yeah. Then there was some like stuff that happened that was like, oh man, that's freaking, it makes for good television. But then there's just one aspect of this whole thing. I don't like it at all. It's kind of gross. But besides that, tons of mystery. We get to meet the timekeepers in a way, and it's just we don't know what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, I think it's a real exciting episode, and it leads to more questions I want to get answered. That's what I like about it.
Mm-hmm. But just the only way to do it is we'll jump right into it. We open up and we see Asgard, but it's Sylvie. There's like a little girl like playing, doing little girl things. TVA shows up. There's our Varian. She's like, well, what's going on? And they just grab her and snatch her. What could a little kid have done?
That I do not know. At that point, were you born? Is that what caused the... But again, they would have got her as a baby, not when she was like...
Yeah, and then why not get her when she's older? Why a kid? Like, either way, it's weird.
Like, it's weird. And you don't know. Like, it's... Again, maybe it's one of those great mysteries that doesn't need to, because it's wrong.
And they delete her Asgard. It doesn't even exist anymore.
No.
Well, see, they do that reset thingy, and it just changes. But normally that happens because they did something. She was just literally playing with toys.
Yeah. There's
Unless someone she died in this world and someone brought her back and stole her from another timeline or something and brought her back, and that was why she's not supposed to be there. Because I don't think she actually did. I don't believe she did anything.
I don't think so either. It could have been with the mom, because remember, she has no memory of her mom.
No.
So maybe she did die and she figured out a way I can bring her from a different universe.
Yeah, that's the only way I can imagine, because I don't think a little kid
would do
it. And toys would be
and just like the TVA, they're just this unfeeling, heartless jerks.
I know. The only one that has feeling is Mobius. And he's like, don't treat these people bad. Even though we're going to erase their world, it still doesn't mean they don't
So she goes through everything that our Loki went through. Same people, same everything.
But as a little girl,
but
which
as a
is
little
even
girl
scarier.
And then so they have her and they bring her before trial, and then she snatched that little computer thingy that can make them time travel, and then she gets out of there.
So her whole life has just been on the run.
On the run. Yeah. So she was like, what, 10 there? And she's like, she's been running
20, maybe 28, 29?
She's been running for 20 years?
Yeah. 20 years.
Jeez Louise. So what the F? Then we get back to our time, and the lady that caught her was the judge lady that's been working with Mobius. Yeah. So she's been at the beginning of all this.
Oh yeah.
She started this.
Of course.
Crazy.
And she knows more than she's telling.
Oh yes.
But so we're starting to make these timekeepers are pretty evil dudes.
Yeah,
they're evil dudes.
Their job they're taking to the extreme, but I guess you have to save the timeline. But I don't know. Like, I don't know. These ends justify the means.
But we get back to our present time, and we see her in a room. It's all dark and scary looking. We see these red symbols on the wall. I'm like, holy crap, those are the timekeepers. Mm-hmm. So you see these three people floating, and then boom, it goes to the opener. So she went and had to talk to the timekeepers because everything that went wrong. Remember, she said the timekeepers are watching this case.
Yeah, they're literally watching.
So she had to explain how everything went down, and the two Lokis got away.
Yeah. And one of them you kept alive, and you shouldn't have done that, Mobius, and all that.
Yeah, then she steps out and starts talking to Mobius, and then she's like, "Oh, we're just like, well, what did they say? What happened? Well, they're not very happy. They're really pissed. Like, well, it's not your fault." But it's like, well, but it's kind of, I signed off on it, so it is my fault. But yeah, then he's like, okay, what happened to B42, whatever the name of that other
the lady, the one from before that was
captain
kidnapped.
lady,
who got mind taken over, and he's like, she was doing pretty fine. I want to know how she's doing. I was checking up on her. She's been pruned. And he's like, what? Why would you do that? Oh, she was just a mess. Her mind was scrambled.
Oh, she couldn't even say sentences.
He's like,
no.
She was a little frazzled, but I could talk to her.
We were talking to her in the building
before she went with you. What do you mean? I don't believe that. She's like, no, you don't understand. She started going crazy. Her condition fell apart. Don't worry about it. And he's like, don't worry about it.
And then it's not like, don't tell anyone else. Well, thank you after telling me this. He's like, wow, how could you do that to her?
Yeah, and it's kind of shocking. Like, he's like, you got rid of people.
Yeah,
their own people.
And he's like, damn. So because Mobius is a pretty decent dude, so we get back to the planet that's falling apart, and they're just like, we're done. And then Sylvie kind of talks about how she stole the data pad and she's been jumping from apocalypse because she's being chased and chased and chased, and then she figured out that apocalypse thing. She goes, I've been living in an apocalypse my whole life.
Thousands of times.
Basically, I've seen thousands of worlds end because I stay there till the apocalypse is over, and then I jump to another apocalypse.
Or of worlds, or like if it's Earth, like a Pompeii type of situation they were before, something like that, world ending.
So then he's like, well, we'll figure out a way. And she's like, what are you talking about? Yeah. There's no thing. And then, he's being really nice to her, and they're kind of just having kind of this like moment of understanding. Mm-hmm. Like, well, I feel bad because he feels bad because at least she goes, I remember Asgard, but only little bits of it. He had Asgard.
Yeah.
He had a brother and a mom and a dad. And she never had any of that. She's always been on the run.
Yeah.
So they're just waiting for the world to end. And that's how she says, she goes, it's crazy how I've been living my life in an apocalypse and it's going to end in an apocalypse.
Yeah.
Get back to Mobius, and he's talking and he's trying to figure out, he's like, I needed information we need to watch the screens just in case there's a Nexus event.
And give me like a magnifier so we can intensify for Loki.
So basically looking at it like this now, so it's like any little fraction we'll see.
But I don't even think that even helped.
No, it didn't.
Get back down to the planet, and we see that all the meteors are starting to get in, and that moon is crashing. I'm like, yeah, these guys are done.
It looks amazing too.
Yeah, it looked beautiful, by the way.
Beautiful, the chaos. Yeah.
So they're just sitting there, just kind of contemplating their end, and they're just just kind of accepting it. But when they're talking, we see that they're making this deep connection, and that's enough to spike. And it's not like a normal spike. It's a straight up spike.
Yeah, and it's kind of sweet because the female Loki's like,
Sylvie.
Sylvie, is our destiny to always lose? Like, are we always meant to lose?
And Loki's like, no, but sometimes we lose painfully.
Painfully.
But I don't think that's like he's trying to make you feel better.
He's like, we're survivors.
Yeah.
We get back up, and then basically saying, you're great. You ran circles around this organization.
Yeah. You did everything you did as a little kid, and you came up with all this plan. I think, wow, you did a great job. So it's almost like, I know this is something where people on Twitter, you gotta praise the woman. I think he's just trying to make her feel better in her final hours.
God, they're doing the final minutes. I mean, literally.
Minutes. Yeah.
This is the end of her life, and he at least wants to make her feel like you did something amazing.
Well, because her whole life has just been crap.
Yeah.
And could you imagine your last little bit was for nothing?
I can get why she has a chip on her shoulder, guys.
Yeah.
It's not like it's just made for nothing because I'm a woman. No, it's because she's had a bad life.
Yeah, I was like, because they didn't like the women's. No, she's literally been on the run since she was like 10.
Yeah.
So she's never had a life.
Explains it, guys.
And Loki feels bad, and he doesn't want her to be sad in her final moments.
Yeah, because even though she is grown up and everything, she almost is like that scared 10-year-old girl all the time.
Yeah, remember that Mobius said, maybe I see a scared little boy, and then he just sees a scared little girl. So this causes the most Nexus event of all time. They found him, they open up portals, they jump in, but now they're arrested.
But here's another thing that the Mobius should realize. Why do they need him? They would have died on that planet anyways. Why need them?
To talk to him.
I guess, but that's...
Yeah, because that's one thing they need to know, and I can understand that. But you're all right though. The timekeepers could have been like,
I'll just let him die. Why does it matter?
Yeah, but
we'll see.
Yeah.
So they got arrested and getting pulled away, and I thought it was really funny because Loki only has 2 guards and Sylvie has like 10, and then Mobius like, Matt, I can't believe you. Look, he's pissed off at him for betraying them, and you betrayed me and all like that. And he's like, you know what? I'm really mad that she got more guards than me. I'm insulted.
That's insulting to me. Come on.
But he brings him to like that first interrogation room, and he's just livid. Mobius is pissed.
He's pissed. Loki has a lot of emotion too, of like just
because he knows that they're all variants.
Yeah.
Then he's like, so what was basically tell me the plan. What were you doing? Did you have this plan from the beginning? And he's like, oh, I'm not telling you anything. And he's just being, because Loki doesn't want to give up all his information, but this is he doesn't even really interrogate him all that much. He just throws him like in a red. There's a red portal. He's like, what's this? Where are you taking me? Oh, we're gonna soften you up a little bit or whatever. And they throw him in this room, and he's like, and it looks like, oh, I remember this. Looks like Asgard. He's like, what the hell am I doing here? And super cool cameo. Lady Sif shows up, and she has like her hair in his hand. Oh, you bastard! He's like, oh, I remember doing that.
I cut her hair.
Yeah. Then she punches him in the face, kneels him in the balls, and says, "You're always gonna be alone," and throws him to the ground. He's like, oh, making me live a bad memory. What kind of that? Then she comes to the room and does it again. So he's in a loop. I'm getting punched in the face and kicked in the balls and being told he'll always be alone.
All the time.
He's like, oh, so this is the trick, huh? They're going to go through this time loop over and over again.
I think Loki would have preferred falling for 30 minutes than this.
Yeah, whatever was going to happen. He's just basically... And I think the physical pain is one thing, but being told...
You'll always be alone.
I think that's why it's his worst. They take you, they go in your memories and find your worst moment in your life and make you relive it.
Well, because it's funny, because I think, like you said, what cut harder was that last
being told
part.
you're always going to be alone.
Yeah.
Not the physical hurt.
Yeah.
So... He's like, oh, whatever. So he's stuck in this little time loop.
Which I think is brutal, by the way. Like, that's terrible to do someone.
Mobius is with the judge lady, and they're having a drink. Hey,
we did it.
Yeah, we kind of did it. Let's talk about, what's happening. And he's like, hey, aren't you supposed to be interrogating your Loki? He's like, oh, I'm softening up a bit. Let me go talk to the other one, the other variant. Oh, let me talk to Sylvie. Because he did tell her that. And what the hell, Sylvie? That's what the other Loki calls her. Let me interrogate her. No, we're not letting you do that.
He's like, what?
Oh, come on. If I can get her working against him and him working against her, I can work this case. That's my job.
This is my job, yeah.
No, she's too dangerous. No, you're not talking to her. He's like, I've talked to plenty of dangerous people. They were in the TVA. They don't have any magic powers. What do you mean? Oh, she could escape like the other one did. He's like, it's kind of a low blow, but she's getting a little too...
defensive.
The only way, kind of thing it reminded me of is, remember in Tangled when she kept asking to go, and the mom was like, no, honey, it's too far.
It's too dangerous.
And she's like, no, you are never leaving this. You're never doing it. She started getting snippy with him.
Yeah,
he's like,
was.
Well, why is it she doesn't want me to talk to her?
And since he's a detective and he's also an interrogator, he knows those kind of tactics. So he's kind of like...
starting to piece together.
He doesn't like this.
Yeah, and... So he had the seeds of doubt planted because Loki, before he got thrown in the thing, told her everything's a lie.
Yeah.
TV has been lying. He's like, whatever, throw him in the hole. So he's like, okay, I guess I'll go talk to my Loki again. He's been getting smacked around a little bit. He's ready to talk. Gets out there, talks to that other lady, the bigger hunter lady. I forgot, B-14 hunter or whatever. Then she's like, so what's happening with what's-her-face, the other one? She's like, we don't know updates on her yet. Because he was told not to say anything when she got pruned. So he's keeping that from her, and
she asked kind of an odd question.
Then she's like, did Loki tell you anything of like knowledgeable? He's like, yeah, he said everything was a lie, but like, what's that all about?
And
then she's like, oh,
and you can see her face
because she got mind touched.
Yeah.
And
when they arrest her, just briefly, she just touched her head briefly.
And remember, if you're strong-willed, she has to create a memory.
So she probably created a memory for her.
Yeah. Or brought back a memory. Sorry.
Yeah, brought back a memory.
So like, okay, now we're back to Loki getting his butt kicked the whole time. He's just on his knees.
Yeah, he's like, I'm done.
He's like, Sif, please stop. Like, he's like trying to get her to stop. He's like, I know I'm a piece of garbage or whatever thing.
He's like on his knees.
But I did this because I'm alone and I crave attention and I'm sorry. Then she helps him up and he's like, I'm afraid. I did this because I'm afraid I'm going to be alone. That's right. You always will be alone. And she just walks away.
See, it didn't even hurt him physically, but that was even worse.
Yeah, and that's what makes me feel like, really, Lady Sif, I know Loki's kind of a jerk, but come on.
But she's only known him as his piece of garbage that always tricks her.
Yes, I know.
But that's so funny about the whole situation is that after all the time, she still had to get that dig in. So no matter what's going to happen, you're going to get a dig. If it's going to be mental or physical.
Even if you jump off the cliff, she's going to still probably yell that at you.
Yeah. Mobius comes around the corner and he's like, pulls him back out. Okay, are you ready to talk now? And he sits down, and this is very confrontational. This is a hostile witness. So, how long have you been working with the variant? He's like, I'm not working with her. Okay, you're lying. Okay, I'll write that down. You're just a liar. And then so he's like pissed because the seeds of doubt of being told that everything's a lie. What's her face not letting him interview the Sylvie? So he's starting to feel like, am I fighting for the right side here? Is this Loki actually telling the truth? Is he trying to trick me? Is she tricking me?
And you have Loki telling him stuff like, well, you're just like me, like interrogation, beating me up, and doing all this stuff.
Oh, yeah, using torture.
We're in our own loop right now, basically.
Yeah, we're on our own little cycle here.
Yeah. So what was it? I used her for an ends to a means. She were not working together. He goes, but what caused that Nexus event? He's like, I don't know. You must have done something. You must have really cared about her. Oh, I can't believe it. You actually fell in love with yourself. Oh, Loki's the only person I know that actually would...
So narcissistic.
Narcissistic that you would actually be romantically in love with yourself. Like your little girlfriend. He keeps like saying that. I'm like, that's super gross.
And then, so I'm like,
I'm sorry. I'm going to say right here. If they end up together in the end, that's fucking gross.
That's gross. That's being yourself.
I know it's yourself, but I'm sorry. I'm not going to go make a clone of myself and go have sex with it. That's super gross.
Yeah,
we're not saying here Ra's al Ghul going to his daughter trying to sleep with Batman, but it's in the ballpark.
It's a creepy thing.
It's a creepy thing, okay?
But yeah, and then he keeps like bringing that up, so I'm like,
you saw your little girlfriend, all that because you loved her. That's what caused this next event that Loki could love. So I think personally, I believe him being the hero, doing a hero thing, comforting someone who's in sadness, that caused a Nexus event because Loki would have done that normally.
Because whenever they told, even from the Creed, from the Timekeepers, Loki can never be good. Never. And that's different. He actually was bringing someone up for no reason, to be good.
If you're already a good guy and you do that, it's not going to do anything. But since you're supposed to be so bad, it's going to make the time thing go in a whole new tangent.
Personally, in my mind, I don't think it's because he finally fell in love and he fell in love with himself, which is super gross. But I don't know with Disney. I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't know.
The thing is that it's an analogy when you look at Pleasantville, when people started getting color. For the other people, it was small things, but for the people that already were from the normal time, not in the television show, they had to do something dramatic. See, it's all depending what level of to make a different time variant. If I make a parallel.
Mm-hmm. So then he's like, keeps pushing that. He's like, that's not. I don't know what you're talking about. And he feels, it's because he honestly felt bad for her.
Yeah.
Then, he's like, okay, so what was your plan? You're going to just take over the TVA? Was that part of your plan? And he's just kind of like, because Loki doesn't even know what the plan was. Because she never actually really told him.
No.
Except for kill the Time Lords. No, not the Timekeepers. The Timekeepers.
Yeah.
But I think Loki almost wanted to see what her plan was just to be helpful to her.
Yeah, because it's like kind of want to like kind of see.
Because I'm helping her, helping me.
Yeah.
Like I'm saving a little version of me. So, but he's like, you know what? I can't believe you betrayed me. Kind of like saying I thought you were my friend, but it kind of felt that way, like you betrayed a friend.
And then there's like this moment though when he kind of tells him like, oh, you don't have to worry about Silva anyway. She's dead.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they already pruned her. What?
And then you can see like the sadness in Loki's face.
And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, they took care of her. And then he looks super sad and he's like, I can't believe it. You really do care about her. You can see it in your eyes. This is the most pathetic thing. And then he just like lays it in on him. Why does it have to be a sexual thing?
All we know is it's hinting from him. But Loki's not denying it. He's not like...
Yeah. Just kind of like, well, not kind of, not really, sort of, I don't know.
And then Loki gets to his senses. He's like, wait a minute. You're lying to me.
He's like, you're lying.
And he's like,
she's still alive? And he's like, well, then he's talking to her. He's like, for now.
Yeah. So he's like, you got me.
He goes, but you know what? I'm done with you. The case is closed. We don't need you anymore. So they pick him up, and he's like...
But Loki tells him...
One last time, he's like, all this is a lie. You're a variant. We're all variants. You had a family. You had a life. They took you from your life. What are you talking about? Get him out of here. So, but that's even more...
Then before he goes back in that loop, he told him that one stinger. Remember that stinger he told him?
Oh, what was that? I can't remember.
Oh, he said something to him.
No, he said, it said that you're lying or you're lying to yourself.
Yeah, you know, the biggest was, there's the lies of the TVA, which are tons of lies, but the biggest lie is the lie that you're telling yourself.
Ooh, he got him good.
I remember that now. Yeah, that was a good one.
And he throws him back in there.
The time loop again, yeah.
Then he's like, you can see it in Owen Wilson's face, like, damn, Mobius is like, sure, I don't know about this. But that other lady... the other black lady, the one that was always been
She's
poking,
almost like crying almost.
Because she had a memory. She walks and she looks at the posters and she's looking around like maybe there is something more. She goes to Sylvie's prison and she's like, oh, are you here to gloat or whatever? Shuts the door. She's like, come with me. And she opens a portal. She's like, okay. She goes with her. I'm like, oh, dang. Is she going to help her escape or something? Then we get to the final case closing. Case closed. We did it. Clink. Let's clink glasses. This lady, this judge lady knows more.
Yes.
She knows a whole lot more than what she's letting on. So, they're just doing the thing and they're having their celebratory drinking. Oh, if you can go anywhere at any time, where would you go? Moby's like, I can do that.
I can do that.
Oh, you know what I mean? Why didn't you let me interrogate Sylvie? Why didn't you let me? Oh, she's dangerous because he's almost ignoring her because she's being a little flirty with him because they always had that weird kind of flirtiness with each other.
And then she's like, well, go back to the question of where would you go? And he's like, and then he goes back, no, I'm sticking to this.
Yeah, this whole Loki thing, it's just...
They deal with vampires and people Thanos type. So
Titans.
So I can't deal with the Loki.
It's like, oh, it was too dangerous. And then she starts to appeal... Because this is okay. I'm saying I don't say I don't have experience with women manipulating you, but she turns to because she knows that he likes her. She knows.
Yeah.
So she's like, I didn't want to see you get hurt. Oh, you nasty B word.
And I think he knows that because again, he's dealt with so many Lokis. He knows when
That's a Loki thing.
That's a
Oh,
Loki
I know you I know you got a crush on me. So if I kind of make it sound like I care about you, you're gonna be like, she likes me.
But it's funny. In the middle, he kind of knows he's not buying it because he goes, "Well, you must have hung out with the Lokis a lot because he's just basically telling you, just telling like them."
We've been hanging around Loki's too long.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, come on! I don't want you to get hurt. She was dangerous, and it doesn't matter. We got rid of her. We got rid of her. It doesn't really matter."
Because what happened to that one girl? The mind thing. I didn't want that to happen to you.
Yeah, because she was a complete mess. We had to get rid of her, and he doesn't even believe that's what happened to her. He's like, "There's no way you could have killed her because she was acting fine. Oh, it's okay." Then he's like, "Oh, you got that trophy, her sword. Where are you gonna put your next trophy? Because remember all the trophies on the wall." She gets up to get it. He grabs her data compad thing,
which has
swaps it. She was like, "Oh, that's such a great. Oh, that's a perfect place." And they get another drink. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna head out." She's like, "Only after one drink?" Well, I had two. Just I'm so exhausted because she was like buttering him up.
Yeah,
like
almost like you could have like
they're gonna do it after this.
Yeah, kiss or like make out or something.
But he kind of just because he wants to get in that data pad.
Yeah.
Get back to Sylvie and the Hunt B-17. I forgot what her name was, but the hunter lady. She's like, "What did you do to me? I saw something."
Did you put a memory in my head?
She's like, "I can't make memories. I can only access them. You're a variant. You had a life before this, before the TVA came and took you.
And they must have mind wiped you or something."
She's like, "Dude, show me again." Shows her the memory. We don't see the memory. She's like, "I seemed happy." She's like, "You were."
You were.
Oh, that's so sad. Yeah. But then she's like, "What now?" She's like, whatever you want to do.
And then it goes to the next scene.
So we got Mobius is walking, kind of sneaks into one of those little library coves, pops open the data pad and goes to that one lady who got captured.
Burned.
Her interrogation.
Yeah, interrogation.
She's like, "I'm not lying to you. She showed me a life I had." She didn't sound crazy.
No, she's like, "We're all variants."
Yeah, we're all variants. What happened to my life? Where did I come from?
I was at a bar. I had friends. I had a life, and I loved my life.
Then they kind of grab her and everything, and then we see that other. So they
and you see the judge lady like look at the camera, like shut it off.
Yeah,
like,
turn it off.
Turn it off.
So she lied.
Yeah.
And then Mobius is like, "Fucking son of a monkey effer." Like he's pissed.
Yeah. So then he goes where Loki is.
Yeah, and then Loki's just like. Then he's like, "Do you care about her?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, what are you talking about?" He's like, "No, do you really believe what she said?"
And he tells him to shut up.
Yeah, he's like, just shut up. Do you really believe her? You told me to shut up.
Yeah, stupid joke.
It's like, "No, right now I need to know, was she telling the truth?" He's like, "I believe her."
I believe her.
He's like, "So I gotta trust two Lokis."
Yeah.
He's like, "But you can help me. You can get through this, but you gotta trust me too." Then they kind of come. He's like, "You know about you don't trust a Loki, but try to trust a friend."
Yeah, because you can trust a friend, and then the sweetest thing he says, "You know what? Just be a hero. I don't care whoever told you different, but be a hero."
See, that's so in my heart. What caused the Nexus event was the fact that he was acting like a hero.
And I think because remember throughout the thing, you can never be good, never be good. He's being good
because he comforted her, and it would gain him nothing.
Why wouldn't it cause a variant from a sexual thing? You know what I mean? A romantic thing.
It would be a heroic.
That's a heroic
I
thing.
got so horny it caused a Nexus event.
I know. It doesn't make any sense, right?
I prefer the hero, and also the look on Loki's face when he goes, the actual title, like, "Oh, I'm a hero now." Yeah, that's kind of cool.
And he was holding her hand to comfort her, like a friend would, not necessarily.
So the world's ending. Let me get a crack at it. So I don't think it's a sexual thing. I hope that's not a sexual thing. That's creepy.
I mean, I think it's a 50-50, but I don't think it is either.
So they get ready to get out of there. There's the judge lady with a bunch of guards.
And we're like,
"You have something that's mine." He's like, "Oh, geez." Before I even noticed, I accidentally grabbed yours. Oh, you know, so here I was gonna bring it right back to you. So here it is.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's the most like got your hand in the cookie jar. Oh, I was just testing, make sure it was all good.
Oh man, the security parameters are working on this
Yeah,
thing.
you're walking outside the store with a stolen item.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. Oh, it's just like seeing if the system worked.
I was just making sure that you would notice. But he gives it back. Then they're looking at him and they're charging up their little staffs, and he's like, "You know what? If I can go anywhere at any time, I want to go back where I was before the TVA. Okay. What kind of life did I have?
Maybe I had a jet ski."
Yeah, maybe I had a jet ski. Maybe I did have something. That's the one place I would like to go.
And we're like, yeah. At that
point,
I know. At that point, though, I'm like, they got to, because like everyone else heard that.
They erased freaking Mobius.
The one thing that was interesting though, the judge seemed a little sadness in her, but not enough not to stop.
Well, because the thing is, she has an agenda.
Yeah.
And she's got to go for the agenda of the timekeepers no matter what.
No matter what.
She'll even erase something that she cares about.
The look on Loki's face is so sad.
He lost Dude,
It's
he trusted me, and what did it get him?
Yep.
Yep.
The one time I'm being a hero.
Someone truly trusted me.
Yeah.
Got him killed.
That's happened. The thing is with Lucky, every time someone gets close to him like that, that's what happens. It's crazy. It's like on a timer.
Yeah.
Fins that he died.
And that's why he's always alone, because either it's people that trust him and they get killed, or it's because he betrays people.
Why not prune Loki right here, right now?
I know.
But I guess the timekeepers wanted to see it happen.
Yeah, which is kind of okay.
Weird.
Yeah.
Unless it's all part of the plan. So then they grab him, then they have her, and they both line him up. They see each other. Hey.
Yeah.
So I guess they're going to just go on the elevator, the glass elevator to the freaking timekeepers.
Yep.
So they get in there, and, it goes up. And I thought this was really sad. She's like, you remember me? She's like, yeah. She's like, what did I do? What was my Nexus event? I was a little girl for you to come and get me. I don't remember.
And she remembers. She just has a smirk on her face.
Yeah, she's
like,
got to be all
yeah.
cocky.
That's probably something really effing stupid.
Yeah.
Like, it could be something as stupid as, we don't like female Lokis.
Yeah, it
It
could
could
have
be
been
something so trivial as
It could
that.
have been that. It could have been the fact that, like, oh, you went a different path that day to your house.
But it caused all this to happen.
I know. The only thing I could think of that would make sense is that she can go into your memories. Because that messes up with everything.
I think
with
when the
TVA.
timekeepers need them for something, there's something more going on here than we know. Yeah.
So they go to that same dark, spooky room as before, and we see the timekeepers, and they're kind of hard to understand.
Yeah,
A
they're
little
very
bit.
deep in voice.
They have like weird sounding voices, and they're all like just kind of weird alien looking dudes, and they're like just kind of like the crimes you've committed and like just being very authoritative, very creepy looking dudes. But they're like, F you, that's how Loki's like, you know what? Go ahead and kill me. I've been killed more times than I can remember. So
And
just
always
give
come
me
back.
your worst.
And even a little bit before, they're saying, "Where's that Steve variant? Where's she at? Oh, we don't know where she went. Well, we got to find her." And they're all
the lying 'cause they know she's dead.
yeah.
So what the freak? So they're getting ready to be like executed after being like talked down to. Then the one lady walks in.
Yeah, the one they wanted to find too. They wanted
Yeah.
to find this lady too.
She's
missing.
She comes out and she's like, for all time, starts fighting, and then we got ourselves a little battle here now.
She takes off their collar, so at least they have their.
They can fight.
Yeah,
again.
because every time they move, they pull them back.
Yeah.
So she just deactivates their collars. Yeah. So we have a fight scene, and
It's okay fight.
Here's the thing.
Not bad.
I have people that I respect on Twitter. People that I like, I follow them, I retweet them all the time. This fight was effing horrible. Take off your Disney hate glasses for like one moment. This is not a horrible fight. And the same thing is, Tom Hiddleston isn't the most dynamic fighter.
Yeah.
But this was an okay fight.
Well, and
It's a little bit of a rumble.
it is, and also it's kind of a different kind of fight because you're getting away from the sticks.
It's way too slow.
Because it's not like if you get hit by something, it this kills you. So they're going to be very defensive.
Yeah, they're going to be a little bit more. They got to be cautious because these are one blow kills.
Is it the most amazing fight in MCU history? Not even close.
No.
Did the Falcon and Winter Soldier have better fights? Way better
Yeah,
fights.
Of course.
But this isn't horrible, guys.
But you have to remember, the power of Loki isn't to fight this way, it's to use their magic, and they can't use their magic. So they are fighters, but they're not Thor.
And also, I would say maybe the way the shot was when they kind of like, because this Loki's fighting over here and Loki's fighting over here, so kind of had to like stretch it out.
So Loki's fighting up on the steps and Sylvie's fighting the one.
No, he's fighting two at the same time.
Yeah, which is kind of like makes the scene kind of like long, but
it's not horrible. Because,
it's not bad.
Because I read those kinds of tweets before I watched this episode. I'm like, oh god, it's gonna be like the Rey and freaking Kylo Ren fight. It's not that bad.
No.
That's way worse than this because they're supposed to be like Jedi Masters, and these are magicless beings here.
Yeah.
So I don't know, people. You're
right on the curve.
Your Disney hate glasses are causing you to hate this more than you should. So they're still fighting and everything, and Loki's able to beat his two opponents, and this is the most crazy thing. As they're like talking, one of the Time Lords is like, "Oh, we can talk about this." But why were they just sitting there the whole time if they're all powerful?
I thought that the whole time. I'm like, can't you guys like stop time and be like, stop this?
But she just throws a sword at him and chops the middle one's effing head off. Then the other two start laughing? Like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then she's like, what the hell? Then we saw sparks. I'm like, they're just robots.
Like something like you would think would happen if you cut off the head of like a Chuck E. Cheese when they had the animatronics.
So
Yeah.
is this the Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, where's the mind behind the curtain, right?
Yeah, I think this is all not. I mean, this is not the Timekeepers, obviously.
No, someone made them to do this whole elaborate scheme.
So she sees, she's like, well, this was it. This is everything. She drops the helmet. She's like, well, what am I going to do with my life? Loki's like, well, we're going to figure this out, together. And she's like, what do you mean? There's nothing to figure out. I was like, well, then this is where it kind of makes it feel like, is he going to kiss her?
Yes, this was the moment where I wasn't believing the whole time. Like, no, he's not really in love with her. Maybe like friends or like brother,
I love
sister.
you like how sisters and brothers can love each other.
But the way he was looking at her.
He was going to kiss her.
Yeah, he was
because
gonna,
he puts his hands on his shoulders and he's like, oh, this is all brand new for me.
Yeah, it's all brand new for me. So I'm thinking, I know he could be like you said, like love like a sister. But the way
he was going in for a kiss.
Yeah, I think
so I find that utterly disgusting. Me personally, I would never F my time self from another timeline. Sorry, I wouldn't never do that.
No.
Even if I was fine as hell, because I know the Roman version of me is like a supermodel. So I wouldn't even do myself. That's gross.
That's really weird. Again, I know it's
it's so weird.
I know it's like probably up the alley of a Loki to do this. But it still does
to
not
me, I
make...
think it's super gross.
Yeah.
But so he kind of puts his hands on her shoulders, and it looks like he's going in for a kiss.
Boom.
Loki got embraced!
And it's that one lady, too.
That judge lady that she didn't take out. She just knocked her out, but she got back up.
I can't believe this. I can't believe they killed Loki. I can't believe it. He's gone.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
I'm like, Mobius is killed. Loki's killed. So in my mind, I'm thinking, so are they going to replace Tom Hiddleston with this lady in the MCU?
Could be.
Who knows?
So then she's like, oh my god, you killed my soon-to-be boyfriend. And then they start fighting. Gets her knocked on the ground, and she grabs this shocker stick. She's like, go ahead and kill him. She's like, no, you're going to tell me everything. Credits roll. I'm like, oh my god.
Like last week, you're like, wow, that's incredible.
Mobius and Loki. I couldn't believe it.
The two biggest characters in the
But
series.
I remember someone telling me that there was a middle credit scene. And so we're watching, gets the middle credit scene, we see Loki's eyes open. He's like, oh my god, is he like in...
He goes, am I in hell? That's the first thing he says.
Is he in a limbo?
Could
Maybe.
be.
So he's like, yeah, that's just, am I in hell? Am I dead? You're going to be in a minute if you don't follow us. And he looks up, and we see like a bunch of weird versions of Loki. We have Black Loki. With
And
the Thor hammer.
the original Loki.
From like the actual original comics. He's wearing like the original costume.
Like a little kid Loki.
And Alligator Loki, which is my favorite.
Yeah, I know, he's cool.
Get Gator Loki.
So
Loki.
If anyone can draw us a picture of Frog Thor with riding
Gator Loki.
Gator Loki.
I still want to call him Groki.
Groki.
So yeah, that's pretty, because those have been versions like, Kid Loki and everything. Old Man Loki, because he's rocking old school threads. I like it.
He's bright.
I mean, that's something you would see like in the Spirit Store Halloween costume. Perfect old school 1960 Loki.
So it ends with, come with me if you want to live. And that's the true ending of the episode.
So if we're going to piece together speculation, the worlds really don't get deleted.
Nope.
They get sent to this
I
realm.
think
Because the background looked like dilapidated buildings.
I think the reason why the timekeepers or the robot versions of them wanted to see it because they wanted to erase these Lokis to put them in this world to use the Lokis for something. I think they're using it for something. Maybe all their magic. Maybe they're going to use it for some big scheme.
But there's way powerful wizards and sorcerers in the world. Why not capture Doctor Strange?
Well, they might, but then maybe they have other people there.
Or
Remember, they
capture,
captured vampires. They captured all kinds of
the Titans.
Here's a funny thing. What if those robot timekeepers aren't the real timekeepers?
No,
the other
they're
ones
not.
are almost like beyonders. Like they're just beyond everything.
Yeah, I don't think they might even have physical form. They might just be like these energy entities.
Like talking lights.
Yeah.
They just have energy.
Or, could you imagine if the timekeepers or how about this? They made this whole thing and they're like, you know what? We decided that you mortals need to decide for your own fate, and they leave. And then somebody in the TVA was like, we can't do that, so we'll just make them that they're still here.
Maybe that girl did that.
That judge lady knows more.
Oh, yeah.
Of course she does. That's why she's got that stick, and you better tell me everything or I'm going to...
Because that would kind of make sense, because again, we all don't like the idea that you're predestined to do whatever, like you're destined, you have to do this.
Let's get philosophical.
Yeah.
I believe everyone has a path. How you walk it is up to you. Like, you have, again, I don't believe like you're predetermined to do everything, but there is a destination that is meant for you. If you walk your way to it, that's great, but you can veer off and miss it completely. You still have free choice.
And that's what I'm saying. So maybe the timekeepers saw that, and they're like, we got to let these people make decisions for themselves. But then there's some people in the TVA that are scared of that. They're like, no, we can't let people
but it's an illusion of control.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying.
But what if the timekeepers were doing this whole thing, keeping the timeline straight, but they had to go do something.
And they're like,
something so
we
beyond
need to
their own
leave.
consciousness of reality. They're like, okay, we're leaving it to you, robot versions of us, and they went off to go take care of something
But
else.
they've been gone for a long time. Maybe they went to go with maybe they went to Living Tribunal. I mean, there
Stuff
are
like
other
that.
instances. There are other beyond things in the world of Marvel, in the universe, that are kind of high concept, so that could be
It
it.
could be. But yeah, this is crazy. And you know what's going to be funny, though? How much you want to bet the next episode, tons of Easter eggs? Because there's going to be characters from all kinds of timelines.
Frog Thor needs to make it into this.
Yes, you can get that. You can get probably Thanos in the background somewhere.
Give me Beta Ray Bill, baby.
Yeah.
Big horse face Thor.
And they give,
Yes.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
Beta Ray
Bill,
Bill.
right,
He's cool. He's a badass.
Yeah, he don't take no crap.
Don't break upon my Stormbreaker.
Boom. Yeah, so it's going to be great. Hopefully we get to see Mobius, too. I would love to see him.
Jet ski Mobius.
He's probably there now.
But here's the thing, though. This show sucks.
This show's amazing. Outside the creepiness of that one,
Yeah,
everything else has been really
Pretty
solid.
damn good.
Yeah. Like I said, if that becomes canon, that will be weird.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
But I'm thinking maybe this lady and Morbius were husband and wife in the normal life. And then she's one of the few people that know what's really going on.
She has to know what's going on.
Yeah,
She's got to know. She's too willing to do everything.
I think that's why they've only probably let certain people know what's going on, because she accepted it, and maybe that's why they liked her being.
Maybe she was the first, and she's just been there so long, she just realized this is what I got to do.
Yeah, and like I said, or like you said, maybe they're dead, which would be really kind of like chaotic to realize that.
Well, but the thing is, but they still made this bubble where like you don't age, so
I don't know.
That's crazy that their powers are still there.
I don't know what happens. I don't know. I really, really, really don't know what happens next.
I know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We're gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah. So two more episodes.
Only 2 more, and this has
more.
been amazing.
It's been pretty damn good.
Guys, I don't know. This has been the best Marvel, like I said.
Could you imagine
Disney series.
a mass attack on the TVA and it's a bunch of Lokis?
Yeah.
Like 1,000 Lokis, like
Well, they collected all of them. That's their fault. Chickens come home to roost now.
And also,
is there a way to get out of where they're at? Is there a way to get back to the?
But again, though, maybe
universe?
Sylvia can figure that out.
Maybe.
And also,
And she hasn't been that bad. I don't know. She's been that. I get where she's coming from, guys. If I lived that life, I'd have been pissed off too.
Yeah.
She never knew what she did wrong. She was only a child.
Yeah, and they won't tell her. What did I do?
See, at least they told Loki what he did wrong, because he used the Tesseract and he jumped out of time. And you use that, that's what you did wrong.
Yeah.
What does playing with dinosaurs in your bedroom do? Little dragons.
Like I said, I don't know. If that was the case, I'd be so pissed.
I think Morbius would have told her what she did wrong.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been such a, hey, forget you.
I think this whole problem with the TVA is that they don't treat people like people.
Yeah, I think Morbius should be the charge of the TVA.
Well,
he'd be a lot better with it.
That's what I think is going to happen, personally. Like, if they ever bring him back, like, he should be the head of it.
Yeah, because he's not a jerk.
Maybe teach some sensitivity about, hey, people are people, don't treat them like garbage.
Jeez, I know, right?
People are people.
Yeah.
So, I can't, next week, I gotta know what happens.
Yeah.
I got to know.
I'm excited.
I know, I want to know.
And I'm excited about the relationship party,
Yeah,
but just everything else is fine.
Oh, God, don't kiss yourself. Guys, bros, if you ever see the clone lady version of yourself, keep it in your pants. That's gross.
Exactly.
That's in here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, you can contact us on any of the social media platforms in the description down below. And while you're here, be sure to click on one of the videos over on the right.